Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. Today is an update on a video I done last week about the Pentax K3 Mark III. Now, I haven't physically got the camera, but I decided to upload a video based on my thoughts on that particular camera. And I've had a lot of comments. In fact, it's been one of my most popular videos as far as getting comments are concerned. I guess some of you thought I might have done it for clickbait. I certainly haven't. They're my genuine thoughts and what I really think about the camera. But what I want to do is just cover some of those points, because I think some people misunderstood me. And I want to go through some of those points just to clarify from my point of view, where I stand as far as this camera is concerned. Not that it really matters to anyone where I stand, because it doesn't, does it? You know, my money, I spend it where I want to spend it. But I think my channel does help a lot of people make buying decisions, and it does influence people, as all channels do. We're all influencers in either a very small way, which mine is, or even in a larger way, which some of the bigger channels, such as DP Review, K1, Lock, they all produce videos that influence people with their buying decisions. So I don't want to be that sort of person that detracts from a particular brand and persuades people not to buy a particular brand. And I think that's what I've done with Pentax. I've had a lot of, I think Pentax fanboys, put comments on my YouTube channel saying either I'm talking a load of nonsense or this, that or the other. And I want to cover some of those points. So first point I want to look at is I don't have the camera. Well, that's fairly obvious. A, it's not been released yet, and B, they haven't sent it to me for appraisal. They haven't sent one for me to have a look at. So I can honestly say I haven't got the camera, and I have made my criticisms based on not having the camera, but it's been based on the specs that I've seen online, and also on other reviews, and also on its price. So that's what I've based my criticisms on. Now, you can either like that or not like that. It is what it is. And I think I have a right to be able to criticise it, even though I haven't physically got it in my hand. The second point is it's a joke. Somebody said it's a joke to compare this with buying second hand. But why? Why would that be a joke? If you've got 2,000 quid to spend, or $2,000 or $1,000 or 500 quid, regardless of what the price is, you've got 2,000 quid to spend, surely you're going to look at what you can get for that 2,000 quid. And you are going to look, I would, and I do buy second hand. You are going to look at high quality used or open box deals. Let's say, for example, Wex, here in the UK, I can only speak on behalf of here in the UK, Wex Photographic and Park Cameras, two retailers I know of, particularly, and MPB. They're three very credible and very reliable retailers. So if you bought second hand from MPB, you get more for your buck than you would do if you were buying new. And that's exactly why I pointed to the Sony A7R Mark III that I purchased. I purchased this camera second hand. It's a 42 megapixel full frame camera, and I got it for 1,500 quid. And that's 400 quid, or 300 or 400 quid less than this new Pentax K3 Mark III. It's also got a 12-month warranty with it. So what is the issue with comparing a new camera release, or any camera release, with a second-hand camera if you've got a 12-month warranty with it? I can't see what the issue is with that. You can put the extra money you've saved towards lenses, flash guns, tripods, audio recorders, audio equipment, whatever it might be. So I don't agree with that logic whatsoever. Also, several people have said over the coming months the price will come down. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I suspect, history tells us that it will come down. Of course, it almost certainly will. But I can only base it on what the retail price is as of the day of the release and the day that I make this video. If I was buying a camera today, that's the price I would have to pay. I can't say, well, in 6 months' time it's going to be cheaper, so I won't buy it. But I need a camera today, but I'll wait 6 months. You can't say to a client, if you're doing commercial work, I'll do your job in 6 months' time when the price of a camera that I want comes down in price. I can only base it on what it is now. So I don't agree with that comment either. If in 6 months' time I'm reviewing this video and it's down to £1,000, you know, that's great, because that surely does represent excellent value for money. And I would be able to compare it with other cameras at that sort of price point. But I can't. I've got to compare it with cameras at £2,000 or lower. So I don't agree with that point. Somebody said, which is, actually this is a good point, but the EVF, electronic EVS, give this guy who left this comment, and I thought it was a valid comment, gives him headaches, you know, and you haven't got very good eye relief. Very, very honest and viable comment, that. And I think that's where DSLRs are really good, because you're just looking through an optical piece of glass, so there's no TV, you're not looking at a TV screen for sake of argument. But again, the modern mirrorless cameras have got fantastic EVS. You look at, again, I come back to this A7R III and many more, it's not just this one. This has got 120 frames refresh rate. It's got a really bright 3.6 million dot viewfinder, so it's really bright and it's really sharp. And I find, with poor eyesight myself, I get great eye relief with this particular camera, the A7R III. It's got a great electronic viewfinder. So, and also when you look at cameras like the Panasonic S5, this is a new camera from Panasonic, well, newish. Came out the end of last year, end of 2020. But this has got a great 3.6 million, I mean, it might be 2.4 million. I'll put it in the description below. But this one's got a great electronic viewfinder with a really good refresh rate. So the eye relief, again, is very good with this particular camera. But that is a good point, though. But I don't see that justifies the price, because I still find the price is just too high. Another comment was, yeah, I skimmed over several, you know, many of the features. Well, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But the feature set in that particular, this new K3 Mark III isn't 2021. It's more like 2016, you know, and I may have skimmed over it, but, you know, 101 focus points. That's generally around 400 focus points these days. 5-axis image stabilization, well, that's pretty common in virtually every camera. And, you know, many of the other features that were listed on the K3 Mark III is in many other cameras today, and more features. And that was my big point. It's lacking, considering we're in 2021, it's lacking so many features. It's lacking your tilty screen, which the K1 Mark II has a really high quality and a really good tilting screen. It's lacking, you know, all the video codecs and the video features, you know, and I could go on, but it is lacking many features. And so maybe I did skim over it, but I do believe it is lacking, you know, lacking features. Now, somebody said that it's a high price, but then so are Leica. I mean, I'm struggling to see, you know, how you can compare a Leica with a Pentax. I'm not knocking Pentax, for all you Pentax fanboys, I'm not, but it's not a Leica. You know, Leicas have been making high quality, high price cameras since the 20s, 30s, 40s, you know, whatever. And they're renowned for their high price, pretty much handmade cameras. Although, you know, some people will say a lot of the components that go into a Leica are from Panasonic or from Fuji. Yeah, I accept that, they are. But you can't really compare a Leica with a Pentax. Pentax history and their, you know, and their pedigree is cost-effective, affordable, high-quality cameras. And you look back at the film days with the Spotmatic back in the 60s, 70s, and then they went to the K1000. The K1000 is the most phenomenal film camera anyone could ever buy. You know, it's so well built, you could throw it down a cliff and it will survive. When I went to the Pentax Semi Super, the MX, these are all cameras that I own, and these are all cameras that I used to sell back in the 70s, well, 70s to mid 80s. And I loved selling Pentax because they were such a high quality brand and they were so good. But that's when Pentax was owned by Asahi Optical Co., not owned by Ricoh. So I'm struggling to see the, you know, how you can compare a modern day Pentax, which is basically a Ricoh, but just with the Pentax brand name, with the history of Pentax and also against the Leica. Although I will say the Pentax still retain fantastic build quality, and they are great cameras, but I think they're behind the times, you know. That was a comment anyway. Where are we? Yeah, when one guy made a sarcastic comment like, when am I going to review flying cars? But we'll skip that one. Somebody else made a really odd comment like, Ricoh make mirrorless cameras, why would their Pentax brand make mirrorless? Which is a bizarre comment. I can't cope with that one. I can't comprehend that one. Canon make mirrorless, they make DSLRs and they're very successful at it. Nikon make mirrorless and they make DSLRs and they're very successful at both. So I can't quite see why, I don't quite understand what that comment meant, you know, because what the guy was saying, or girl was saying, that they'd be competing against themselves. Well, they wouldn't be, you know. But I did say in that last video, I completely understand why Pentax are staying with the DSLR format. I don't have an issue with that. That's what they're renowned for, build quality, etc, etc. I just can't get my head around the fact it's almost 2,000 quid when you can get the K1 full frame camera with the tilting screen, more features for £200 or £300 less. It doesn't add up as far as I can see. I completely see, if you're into the Pentax, you know, the Pentax family, and you've got aps-cs, you've got the K3, you've got the K70, whatever, and you've got a whole range of aps-c lenses, then you probably would want to stick with a aps-c body. But is this the right body for you to stick with? People have said it's not a wildlife camera. It seems to be more landscape orientated. So, you know, most cameras can do great landscapes, the higher end cameras, but it is a 26 megapixel, but that's not exceptional. That's pretty, you know, pretty standard these days. So, you know, I'm not quite sure that this is the right, you know, the right move for Pentax, well, for Ricoh, to be honest. And I also completely understand why they're pricing it higher, because as I said in the last video, they do need to either recoup losses being made in the camera division, and they will price the cameras higher. But for heaven's sake, put some features in there which are 2021 to encourage people to want to either buy into the Pentax format or upgrade. And that's where I'm struggling with. So there we go. I just wanted to cover some of these points. Now I'm sure I'm still going to get hate comments down below saying that I don't know what I'm... Or somebody did say that obviously I'm not a photographer and I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I mean, my business, although I'm semi-retired, my business, I started my business in 1985 doing videography and photography. So, and I've worked with many, many large clients over, you know, the last 25, 30 years. So I do think I do know what I'm talking about. But I'm learning all the time. I'm no expert, but I am learning all the time. That's what I love running my YouTube channel for. So I'm learning from you guys and girls, and I hope that you're learning from me as well. Not necessarily in this video, but in a lot of the videos that I produce. So there we go. I hope you found that useful. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the like button if you like this video. I'm not so sure I'm going to get that many likes, but you never know, do you? So thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more videos relating to video and photography, but not necessarily Pentax. So thanks very much. Cheers for now. Bye.